Welcome to another episode of BusinessMind Learning. Today we are going to discuss how to easily correct information on a sale. Sometimes you make a sale and there's some information that you need to modify. And this episode we will talk about different ways we can go about modifying an invoice and even voiding or reversing an invoice. All right, so first let's head over to sales and search under the view invoices area for the sale we want to modify. Let's go ahead and pick this sale from Tony Stark. Here is the sale. You'll notice that there is an edit icon in the upper right hand corner. Looks like a little pencil and paper. And if you mouse over that, the tooltip will show up and let you know this is to edit. If we click this, it turns the invoice into the editing mode. And in this mode, there is some information that you can modify. Now, again, there's some information that you might not be able to modify. For example, we cannot change the price of the item. But we can modify other information. You will see that we can set a reference, adjust tracking, change the date, enter in some payment info if we want to add a payment information note, enter in some delivery information or modify it if it was there, modify the item description, and also modify the note. Once you make your modification, let's say we needed to backdate this and it was supposed to be on Friday. So let's go ahead and set those dates to Friday, and then we hit save and our changes are saved. So at this point that sale has been modified. So let's go ahead and actually pull it back up and you'll see that now it's November 12th and the sale was modified. Okay, so let's see what else we can do from the invoice detail view. So let's check out this payment. The payment was entered in as American Express. But let's say that was a mistake. The sales associate meant to choose Visa, something happened, they chose American Express. Well, there's no reason to reverse this sale, void this sale, and re-enter it. We can just fix the payment right on this screen. So if we click on the payment, you will see you have an option to remove and redo the payment. So if we say remove, you will get a notification saying that, if you're doing a change here, you probably want to also do it on your bank ledger. We hit yes, and now the payment has been removed. So there's no payment on this invoice. And right on the invoice view, there's a spot where you can add a payment. So here, we are going to re-enter or redo this payment, and it was Visa. And you also have the option to change the date of the payment. So this invoice is from November 12th now, so we chose November 12th. And we hit add payment. And now the payment has been recorded. If we mouse over it, you can see that that is a Visa payment. So that's a quick and easy way to fix a payment type. Now, I did want to note, if you are using the integrated credit card payments within BusinessMind, then this type of issue, for at least credit card payments, would be fully avoided because the credit card type comes directly from the type of credit card that the client inserts into the card reader. So you would never have this mistake. Now, of course, if someone, accidentally chose cash and it was supposed to be a check or some other type of payment method that was not a credit card, then of course this would work out. So that's a good reason to utilize the integrated credit card payments within BusinessMind. Okay, so now let's do an example where we want to void the transaction. We want to completely reverse it. So let's go back to sales. And again, from your view invoices area, search for the transaction you want to void. I'm going to choose this one from Tony. And whatever the reason for you wanting to void, reverse this, it's completely off. You need to remove it. You might be redoing it. You might be re-entering it properly. But right now, you want to reverse this. So we pulled up the invoice. And a good rule of thumb is, well, we know we could already remove the payment. So let's get that out of the system. Let's remove that. Now, this step is optional. Technically, you can leave the payment, and then when you create the reversal of this, you just add in the refund. But if you want to clean up your records, removing the payment makes things easier. So we just click on that, choose the remove option. Now at this point, we head over to the tools, the little gear icon, and you will see from the invoice, you have the option to create the credit note. And if we click this, it will automatically take all the information from that invoice and put it on a credit note. So you see, I didn't have to fill in any information here. It all came from that invoice because all we're doing is we're voiding it. We're creating the reverse transaction for it. And at this point, all I have to do is hit save. Of course, I want to put in a note, reason why. You definitely can. You need to change the date. You can. But let's go ahead and hit save. And now we have the credit note for this. So it's a reverse transaction to the invoice. And we could take it one step further. We could even allocate this credit to the original transaction. Here's the original transaction. And we could just type in that number and hit allocate. Now the two are even linked. That step is optional. I recommend you do it because it does make for good housekeeping. You'll see right from the credit invoice, you have a link to the original invoice, and you could even go to that invoice by clicking on that. And from the original invoice, you have the option to go to the credit note. So now you've reversed the transaction. So the customer's balance, everything is the way it was, and the item is back in stock. So at this point, if you needed to redo the transaction, you can re-enter the transaction for your needs. These are just a couple ways where you can modify an invoice to fix some information that might be incorrect, remove a payment and redo it, or create a credit note to void out the original transaction. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe so that you get notifications when we send out new videos. Click the little bell icon. And as always, there will be helpful links to our help center on the topics that we covered right in the description below. Have a good one, everyone.